Hey, everybody, it's James. This is the ComedyPreneur Show. And today we have an amazing, hilarious, funny guy. Probably one of the funniest people I've ever met, I've ever talked to. He won Big Sky Comedy Festival in 2015. He's very hilarious. He came from Florida. Now he's out in LA doing all kinds of big things. He's going to talk to us about getting started in comedy, about doing uh, doing all kinds of different things, acting, and winning the Big Sky Festival. Please give it up for the very hilarious, very funny Mr. Chris Cope. Mr. Chris Cope, welcome to the ComedyPreneur Show. How's it going, buddy? Wait, why is it not? Oh, you're messing with me. Oh, he's messing with me. Oh, I was like, wait, what did I do wrong? Oh.
Yeah, because your anxiety was already up.
It was up. My anxiety was up. So I'll let everybody know. For some reason, it cut out and didn't record right away. So now I had to kind of restart it. But we're here.
You're going to get a truncated version, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not saying these words twice.
That's okay.
I do one take.
We're gonna do one question first. How did you get into comedy, and kind of give everybody your little origin story, and then we'll talk about this guy and get going from there.
Sure. Just about turned 19 in Gainesville, Florida, many years ago. I did one open mic, and someone said I should probably try to do I should audition for like a local comedy club showcase. It was a showcase on the club's off night on Thursday, ran by two local comics. One of them is still one of my best friends, and one of them I don't talk to. Yeah, for good reason. But yeah, it was. I just showed up that Sunday with what I thought were jokes, and it took two auditions for them all to kind of come to a resolution that I could perform. Okay. God, I remember my first time on stage, or at least one of them, I must have said the F word 40 times in like a 3-minute span. I don't say it that much on stage now, but it's just funny thinking about, like, how did you fit 40 of them? And my buddy goes, that's when I stopped counting. I stopped counting at 40. I guess every other word out of my mouth was just F, 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 F. I was nervous. So when I'm nervous, I probably cuss more.
Yeah, that makes sense. So then after you did that, then you started doing shows, and how did those shows go?
My first 3 shows went well. They were packed rooms. I had friends. And then I just took it on the chin for 6 months.
6 months. Wow. And that was all at the same club? You're just taking it on the chin for 6 months at the same club?
I mean, I go other places and do bad.
Oh, okay.
The majority of it was there. Dude, I was coddled, man. I was incubated. I was given as much room to grow as possible for how annoying, and I'm not easy to be around in large doses. I'm learning. So at 19, I was even worse. I feel bad.
So then you started going from there after the 6 months. It started getting better. Did you start going on the road and doing more shows and stuff like that?
It really wasn't that. It was more of at 6 months, the house MC got fired, and because I was the guy that always showed up for weekend guest sets as much as I could, I just made a point of, this is where I need to be. I want to get better. This is my gym, and I wasn't going to go anywhere, I would go other places for stage time, but I always knew I had consistent opportunity here, and they made me house MC. And then like a month later, they fired having middle acts.
Oh, wow.
So now they still had a full 90-minute show, but with just a 45-minute headliner and a 15-minute MC. And I had to like bring in local guys to do that. So I ended up doing just doing average, like, you do 15 minutes 3 times a week. You build material a little faster. And I got to the point where they had recurring people, like audience was coming back. And I got better at crowd work because I was like, I can't tell this tired bit one more time to these people. They've seen it. Good God, they've seen it.
So do you think being the MC was very helpful in your career? Do you think it helped you kind of learn crowd work and learn talking to people?
Absolutely. I mean, the MC he's the starting pitcher of the show, man. If he goes bad, there's nothing the dude on first base is going to do if he's out there just throwing bombs. You know what I mean? If the MC is and the way we do in America, the way we do comedy, the MC is typically the weakest person, but it's the most important spot. I've always kind of enjoyed the way Britain and Europe and even Canada, to a degree, they bring a headliner in to host.
Wow.
So the middle part of the show is the least paid, and I think it's the shortest spot. And to a point, I agree. I like the idea of a power, a good leadoff hitter, a dude who knows how to get on base, and then a cleanup hitter. That's sports. That's just how I equate things. But
no, that's logical. I never thought about it that way. I always, whenever I book shows and I try to book MCs, I book people that I know are strong with their jokes, but maybe weak in the hosting side, so that over time, as I'll run them for a whole year on my show, they'll get better at MCing, and then they'll be ready to go that middle spot. And so
it's an easier transition if you get really good at hosting.
Yeah.
Because you got to learn to do everything as the host. You have to go up there. You're not expected to be funny. They don't give a shit about you. You have to remember. I don't remember as a headliner or a feature. I don't remember drink orders or drink specials or who's coming here next week. That I might have one job: be funny.
Yeah.
The host, whoever they are, have to go up there and just get the crowd, settle them down, introduce them to what comedy is, and then go, hey, we got Dat Fan this week. We got, Norm Macdonald next week. Don't forget the banana boats on sale. It's just like shit. And you're like, if you can figure all that out and get a show started like a car humming, then you're ready to move on.
Yeah.
That's when you got to go, I got to move forward.
Yeah. So then after you did that, you kind of middled there. And then when did you start going on the road?
About 18 months into comedy, I was very blessed. I had a headliner that liked me, was kind of a mentor. No, he was a mentor, not kind of a mentor, excuse me. He was a mentor, Bob Smith, not the gay comedian that had some fame in the mid-'90s. He's a Florida comic. I just don't want to confuse people with the two. Not that it matters, it's just one's less famous than the other, and that was my friend. But yeah, Bob really took me on the road and just showed me how to do professional comedy in Florida.
Now, when he took you on the road, you've been all over the place, and you're kind of your favorite thing is Waffle House. I know that you post a lot of the Waffle House stuff.
Excuse me, this is related to pot.
No, it's okay. No. Now, I've never been to a Waffle House, believe it or not. I've never been to one. I need to go to one. But if you had to take somebody on the road with you, and you were going to take them to, one, the best Waffle House place, and two, the best state to perform in, where would that be? Are they the same? Just blew your mind.
No, I'm Rolodexing through about 400 Waffle Houses that I've been to.
You can just say state if that's okay. You don't have
Florida.
Okay.
Florida and Florida.
For both.
My home. It's my home state, man. Because the Florida thing is, Florida, you can do a show for predominantly Hispanic and city folk in Miami, and then you can go to Orlando and do it for people all over the world, and then you can go to North Central Florida and do it for people that are too stupid to stay home from the beach.
I love that. So Florida is a good program. I know, like Preacher Lawson also came out of Florida. Yeah, Preacher Lawson.
Man, it's funny. Preacher opened for me a couple of times. Preacher and I are good friends.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He's great. I love Preacher. Mad respect. But I remember the first time he opened for me, my first thought was, Jesus Christ, this kid's so energetic.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there eating a Philly steak and cheese and fries, and he's up there doing somersaults and shit. I'm like, good God. And I was like, I don't have the energy for that. Yeah. So I just sat down. I was like, I'm going to completely change gears, and then I'm just going to hang back and just do it that way,
He's one of the best comedians I've ever seen perform.
He planks during his set. I think his set is just a veiled attempt at CrossFit. That's what I really think it is. After watching, I'm like, you're just trying to get your steps in, man.
That's true. Actually, I'll tell you my Preacher Lawson story. The first time I met him, I was going out to clubs in LA, and he was sitting outside, and he was with a girl, and we were all like waiting to go in to do a mic, and she said something funny, and then she said something like kind of stupid, and I said something funny back to her, and then Preacher said something funny to me, and then I said something else back to him, and then we just started laughing at each other. And then I was like, this dude is hilarious. And then, but his laugh is very much like an Eddie Murphy laugh. And I was like, oh, anyone told you sound like Eddie Murphy? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. You know, how he does his thing. And so I was dying. And after that, we just kind of like clicked and talked every now and then.
He's a pure soul, man.
Dude, he's so amazing. Like, but you also know the moment you meet him, that guy is going to be famous. Like the moment you meet Preacher, you're like, there's nothing in the world that, unless he dies, which please, Lord, don't let that happen.
Yeah.
He's going to become famous. Like, there's no way that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's just too likable and too talented, man. He works too hard. You can't have all three of those things and kind of be denied. I firmly believe if you have a willpower, a work ethic, talent, and likability, and he's a handsome dude. Christ, he's handsome.
He is handsome. I hate that about him.
Yeah, it's almost unfair. Like, even if you put our good looks together, we're still not even close.
Not even close, dude. We're like,
we could form like Voltron, and we're still falling short of the beauty of that man.
Someone's going to send this to Preacher afterwards and be like, these two
Welcome to Preacher's Fan Club podcast. Cope and James Creviston.
So after you go all this, you're doing on the road and stuff. When did you start headlining? Was it before or after Big Sky?
Around the same time. Around the same time. Sorry, dude, so far it's been almost 16 years, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
It's a big, to go back 7-8 years to go, oh, shit, 5 years, I don't even have a clue. Yeah, and also, I don't know what day it is.
Right. No, I don't think anyone knows what day it is anymore.
Like Polly Walnuts over here.
Distinguished.
Why shave it short, man?
You look distinguished. I like it.
Yeah. My fellow Americans.
There you go. So
I could do a better job.
Yeah. When you go to get ready to go do Big Sky, was there a lot of work up to it? Were you doing like trying to do a lot of shows so that you knew what set you were going to take to Big Sky?
Yeah, no, I absolutely would. I think I tried a couple times each set because I knew it was 3 sets. Okay. So I was like, I kind of figured out what I wanted to do before I knew if I made it to the finals, I wasn't going to do my aneurysm stuff until the end. So I was just saving it on the off chance I made it.
Okay.
I thought I had enough good material to get me to the finals, and I thought when I get to the final round, everyone's going to be dropping bombs. I'm going to drop bombs, and then I'm also going to drop leaflets and food, because that story, it plays on heartstrings. I'm not blind to the effect that story has and how I can use it. Sorry, it's a competition. I'm going to use everything in my wheelhouse to win.
And how many sets did you have to do, and how long was each set like in the competition?
5, 5, 10. They're all supposed to be separate.
Wow. Okay, so you couldn't repeat jokes in any of those.
Some comics did in the final rounds, and clearly I didn't repeat a single joke.
That's awesome, man. So you had to go in there with at least 20 minutes. You had to have 20 minutes.
20 smoking minutes. Yeah, you're going to go together almost a feature set of just haymakers.
Oof, that's tough. I know that you are you're very funny. You said I believe you said before that you work a lot of stuff out on stage. Do you also try to write, or have you did you ever learn to write, or just more do it like how you?
When it comes to the idea, a lot of times it comes at night when I'm laying in bed, my mind wanders. I'll think of an idea, and then I'll put it down on my phone, and then I'll look at it on the computer and try to see if I can expand on it, and then I take it on stage. For some reason, when my mind's on stage, it just works in that, and I'll record it, and then if a punchline comes out, I don't mind performing a lot, just constantly run new bits. It's fun.
And then so once you have it in your mind, you write it down. What's that?
I just got a new meat thermometer. Sorry.
Nice. So then you write it down, work it out on stage, record it. Then do you come and type it all out so that you can read it and look at it and kind of cut it and slice it?
Only when I have to submit for television.
Okay. Oh, like if you do like a late show or something like that, or one.
No, in fact, I've been made fun of for telling the same joke 60 different ways. Just doing the setup a little different. It's funny. The only way I know how to describe this is to quote it. There's a line from you ever seen From Russia with Love?
Yes, I love that movie.
When Red Grant goes, my job was to deliver the lecture. How I do it's my business.
Right. Yeah.
My job is to get the laughs. How I do it is my business. So if I don't tell a joke exactly the same way, that's why like recording an album sucks for me because I also will dip into the crowd. I just like to have fun on stage. I've been doing it so long that I'm just going to enjoy being up there and go with the flow of the moment. Just see, there's, if I'm doing 45 minutes, 50 minutes, there's at least 10 of it I'm just going to make up or goof off with the audience. If it's a bigger crowd, yeah, I play more to my act. But if it's small and intimate, I'm still at that point in my career where I get what I get when I'm performing audience-wise.
Right.
I'm not selling out, so if it's a half-full room, I'm playing to a half-full room. If it's a big room, I'm always able to adjust.
Yeah. And that's you can't guarantee that there's going to be a full room. I went and saw Nate Bargatze, who's like, he's on fire right now. And I went and saw him out in Oxnard at the Levity Live, and that room wasn't even a quarter of the way full. It was, and it's.
But Oxnard also, that's mainly, I would say if it was Fluffy,
right,
Lopez,
yeah.
There's 5 or 6 guys that can sell that room out. Everybody else,
yeah,
that demographic just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Nate Bargatze, is more of he's national. He's got Netflix and everything. He should, but what night was it?
It was either a Friday or Saturday night.
Which show?
It was the late show. But even the crowd that I saw come out of there wasn't a full room either. So it's weird. Also, I don't like that.
That happens. Second shows are just there to make the club more money.
Yeah, that's true. So when you go, now that you tour around the country, what is it that you like? What are the things that you have to overcome as you go on the road more? Because a lot of comedians in LA or New York, they're used to performing in LA or New York, and they're not used to being on the road. What is the difference there, and like, how do you prepare for that?
I never really got off the road. When I moved here, maybe about a year's worth of light road work. That's been my bread and butter financially for last, I don't know, 8 years now.
Nice. And what's the secret to going on the road? So what if a new comedian came up to you, let's say.
Don't start in LA or New York.
Okay, so if I did start in LA and New York, I stupidly started in LA. I could have started.
Find a really famous guy and be his best friend.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not that guy. I can't do that.
No, I'm just saying because like that guy's gonna get taken on the road.
Right, yeah.
Either you start in a smaller market and you work your way up and establish yourself with clubs in that market.
Right.
Because like I still primarily I now work more in the West Coast and I do work in the South. But I don't work the Midwest really because I never really worked the Midwest. I never really got into that area. And until, I taped something recently. I can't mention what it is, but once that keeps going, then I think I should be able to work anywhere I want.
That's awesome, man. Congrats. Are you?
Yeah,
are you saying that's a special or an album or something like that? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's it's something that I taped.
Okay, gotcha. Now, are you going to have another special album? Because you had an album that came out.
Yeah, I was supposed to record. Actually, I have a recording of. Oops, sorry, my knee just popped. Oh God. You ever have like your knee pop and go, did I just break it?
Yeah.
Did I just break my knee on accident? Like, am I that old right now? I just stuff breaks like that? Sorry.
I don't think it works that way.
Sorry, I just got freaked out for a second. No, I had a new album recording, and then this thing that I'm doing now, I can't release anything. I've signed, so I can't release anything until after this is all said and done. I know it sounds so vague.
No, it's okay. I totally understand. I know that process. I've been going through a lot of different things too, where I'm like, oh man. Now,
yeah, man. So I'm happy to be American.
Yeah, no. Now you headline. Do you have someone that you bring on the road with you as your middle act or your opener or anything like that?
I rotate it. I like to. I don't have someone permanent. I like to rotate it. Always like I can bring a woman. It just makes for a different show. I used to hate when I go to a club and I'd be headlining and there'd be a guy that looks just like me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is not fun. We're gonna overlap at some degree, or at least the audience isn't gonna differentiate the two, and I'm gonna have to make a joke to set myself apart, like in that sense of like, referring to the other person. I'd rather it just be a diverse lineup. That way, because crowds are diverse. Why wouldn't you want to have a little bit of everything for everyone? That's how you build a good audience.
No, I agree. That's my opinion. No. I agree. Especially, I've learned that it's really good to have a good mix. I make the joke that you need A person, a B person, a C person, a D person, just all these people, because otherwise, yeah, you get a whole lineup of white dudes that look like me. And then it's like, well, that's not fun for anybody, and
Yeah.
yes, maybe we do talk about different stuff or we're at different stages in our life. But after a while, you're like, wait, was this the same white dude that did that joke? Or was it the same white dude that did this joke? It's like, okay.
Yeah, it starts to blend together. It's like, I'd rather have it be just different.
Yeah. And besides
They still got to be good.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not softballing it to anybody. It's just, I honestly, I mean, everybody, I guess anybody wants an opener to do really well, but not so well that I got to freak out. Like, if they get a standing ovation, like, why are you featuring?
Yeah.
What couldn't you figure out to move forward? How can I help you stop making my job hard?
Well, that's my problem is I have a hard time trying to get out of LA. Like I've done stuff in New York, I've done stuff in LA, but I can't get out of these regions. Like, so I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that way. So that's
there is club work. I mean, there's not a lot of club work, like Entertainment Max, that are out here that are a good start into professional comedy.
Yeah. All right.
Look into that.
We'll
Google.
talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Google.
So then,
because I'm real weird about like finding performance and stuff like that, finding new clubs. I'm constantly stalking other comics' pages, seeing where they're working, going, ooh, I haven't heard of that club. Where is it at? And then I see how many days it is. Ooh, I want to work that. Okay, cool. Let me check their calendar. Ooh, I'm not headlining here. It's big names. Yeah. Or it's, shit, I need to email them. And it's like that for every single club. And you just build this list. And like, I trade with other headliners that are around my, that are on my level, I guess, to say, and go, whose emails do you have? Cool. Because, I mean, before quarantine, I was sending out volleys of emails.
And is that
yes, no? I mean, I'll say this. Once you get more TV credits, then it just gets easier.
Right.
It gets harder and easier. I'm not saying it's just this. It's just different problems. You're never going to – life is – one thing I read about a book one time was you just want better problems. And that's all I'm looking for in my career is more things, better things to complain about.
I like that. Better problems.
Dude, think about this. A homeless guy's got money problems. Warren Buffett's got money problems. Which money problems do you want?
I never thought about that. Man, that is spoof. You're getting deep. I don't know.
Yeah. No, the book's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. Dude, it's an audio book for me. I've listened to it like 3 times.
All right. So as a mentor to comedians as they're coming up, what would be the one thing that if there was one thing you could tell comedians, this is what you need to do to be successful, what would it be?
Want it.
Want it. All right. Put in the time, put in the work, want it.
Yeah. You get exactly what you put into this business. And, there's parts where I get mad because I haven't done this or that. And I'm like, it shows. And that's put in the work. That's it. There's no, I mean, if someone helps you get more successful quickly, you won't sustain it.
Right.
Unless you're just God's gift to comedy and that they don't strike that often.
Yeah, that doesn't. So one more question. Where can people find your current album, your specials, or anything you have? Where can they find you at? And so they can kind of follow you, check you out, and listen to your hilarious brand of comedy. Because I love your comedy. I love it myself.
I got yelled at for my joke yesterday on Twitter.
Twitter. I stay away from Twitter, man. I've learned my lesson now.
What I said was South Carolina is opening, and then Georgia. I guess we're doing it by reverse literacy tests. No, literacy rates. I looked it up. South Carolina is slightly so the reverse they would go first. They're after Georgia.
Right.
Where do they find me? Everything is at Chris Cope Comedy. My website is chriscopecomedy.com. Twitter is at Chris Cope Comedy. Instagram at Chris Cope Comedy. I don't Snapchat. I just got a TikTok, so nothing for that yet.
I can't wait for that.
Oh, Spotify, Pandora, and XM Sirius for my first album, White Trash Supercomputer. And later this year, I'm going to release, I think I've figured out the name. It's going to be called Built for Comfort.
I like that.
That's me.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for spending time with us. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me on. I'm going to go to Porto's now.